Hey guys, Marvin and Kid here, coming to you again. How's everybody doing on their end? The Honorable Warrior, Omni Geek High Lord of New York, wishes you all well as always. Uh, Welcome back to Chronicles of the Web. Chronicles of the Web is just me being me being the fan that I am of Spidey, and just giving thoughts on various books that Peter Benjamin Parker was starred in, mostly starred in or crossed over in, things like that. Last time, the first episode we talked about was Todd McFarlane's first issue of Spider-Man. It was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun to just reminisce on that again. So today, what do I talk about today? Well, let's get right into it. If there's one thing I wished that the comic industry, especially the big two, would do more, especially now, is crossovers. I love crossovers done right. When they're done right and they show the respect to both characters, I love it. But when you could clearly see that one character is outshining the other character, or this group is trying to outshine the other group, basically purposely, then I don't like it. And I've always said it. To me, I wish the big two would really just put their egos aside and just be like, you know what? It's friendly competition, and then there's just stupid competition, in my opinion. That's just my word. And personally, with me, I think there is stupid competition between those two. Because, once again, as I've always said, I like both companies, and both companies have made mistakes and made some crucial mistakes that have really bombarded their characters, and some have made some crucial hits as well that you would really look at and you're like, I don't know about that, but you looked at it and you liked it. But here's one hit that I really enjoyed very much, and I'm going to talk about it today. Because I have to. Putting two icons together. And showcasing the best that both can offer. For both companies, as well as for fans of both characters. So I pulled this bad boy out of my collection, and it's none other than, ta-da, Spider-Man and Batman. Two icons coming together to deal with enemies from their rogues gallery that are similar as well. Now, first of all, I love that cover. As you can tell, who's the artist on there? Mark freaking Bagley. Love me some Mark Bagley. The writing in this issue was done by, I just need to remember who did the, J.M. DeMantis did the writing. But this issue, this special crossover was the first of two that these two icons will cross over. The other one I do have. In this issue, Peter and Bruce team up to go against the Joker and Cletus Cassidy Carnage. The series was really interesting because it's basically, in hindsight, both Peter and Bruce are having nightmares of various times in their life that they felt they could have done something more. For example, Peter wishing the burglar, he was there to stop the burglar from killing Uncle Ben. Bruce wishing he could have done more to stop Joe Chill from killing his parents. That's the guy who shot Martha and Thomas Wayne, for all who don't know. And you see that in each issue. Like here you go. Here's Peter having nightmares. So what does Peter do? He wakes up from his nightmare, and he wakes up and he basically says, you know, to MJ, they're married. Yes, that I'm gonna go out and basically just web sling, get my head clear. And then of course Bruce is dealing with Joe Chill, and he wakes up from his nightmare, and you can see Alfred asking him what's going on, and you're looking at a picture of his parents, and he goes out to just clear his head. Now, the other basis of the story is that Dr. Kafka, who died recently in Superior Spider-Man. I wish they didn't kill Dr. Kafka, Ashley Kafka off. I thought she was a great character. She figures out there may be a way of finally curing Cletus Cassidy of the symbiote. Finally really getting the Carnage symbiote off of Cletus Cassidy, because unlike Venom, the Carnage symbiote is completely bonded with Cletus Cassidy. And we're talking not just from bone, we're talking the DNA, everything. And we see that. So basically, in a sense, she decides to take Cletus Cassidy. She decides to take Cletus Cassidy to pretty much. She decides to have Cletus Cassidy deal with another scientist that is in Arkham, who has maybe found a way to stop the criminal insane, because they're in Arkham. Dr. Kafka asks Spider-Man Peter Parker to join her on her trip to Gotham to Arkham, so it's kind of cool to see that. And the basis is she has decided to the doctor is able to put a chip inside the brain of the criminal insane, and it kind of is supposed to shut down those urges of the criminal insane. She did it for Joker, and she did it, and now she thinks she can do it for Cletus Cassidy. Unfortunately, it don't work that way. As you can see, she's showing off how Joker and Cletus look now. They're all docile and, like, you know, they're like almost like mindless husks. But unfortunately, the symbiote is just way too freaking strong and is able to break the chip, you know. And he takes pretty much the Doctor and Joker. Unfortunately, look who's in disguise, Batman. And Joker, Cletus is introduced to the Dark Knight right here. He's not really impressed, but he's like, Batman, I heard of you. Like, you know, he's like, basically, so what do we have here? The legendary Batman, you know, disguised as one of the guards. I guess I'm not the only one who who's playing a role today. It was really cool. Kind of that nightmare is starting to come back onto Batman that he had, because in hindsight, he was kind of having a vision of almost like this vampire-like red teeth criminal, and as you can see here, we have pretty much, unfortunately, Spidey comes as well to help, and he saves the Doctor, Dr. Brian, and Bruce and Peter handle Carnage. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of an animosity, you know, in terms of Batman saying, you know, Gotham is my city, Spider-Man, go back to New York, I don't need your help. You know, the usual stuff you would expect from two heroes coming together. But in a sense, Peter's telling Batman, look, you don't know Carnage like I do. I know him, so let me help. And so you get that kind of a little bit of a gist of, like, you know, but unfortunately, you know, basically, I love the stare down between, after, Carnage gets away, through Batman. He's like, what are you doing in my city? That's what, and, Spidey says basically, I guess you want to map out some kind of battle plan, huh? Considering Cassidy and I have history, I can, he's like, basically he keeps saying, what are you doing in my city? And Spidey's like, excuse me? He's like, Dr. Kappa asked me along to keep an eye on Carnage, and he's like, I want you gone. I want you out of my city. And, Bruce is coming off like a dick. It's like, yo, Bruce, like, he's here to help. He knows you don't know Carnage. And, once again, Spidey's like, excuse me? Like, and he's like, Gotham isn't New York. She has a unique personality and unique dangers. I don't want you getting hurt. So, in a sense, Peter's, look, Gotham is not like New York City. Go home before you get hurt, and...
Bruce is like, Bruce is just, I don't want you getting hurt, and Spidey's like, look, I'm not here, he's like, I'm not here to get in your way, I'm here to help. And he's like, I told you, I don't need your help. And, it's the typical kind of, but then it's the stare down, which I love, that stare down, like, look, I'm not leaving. And, Bruce is like, oh, Spidey's just like, well, if not, well, he says, well, well, like it or not, I'm here to help, whether you want it, whether you're gonna. And he's like, okay, well, he's like, want it, and he just runs away. He just grapples away. He's like, whatever. Like, Batman's just like, whatever. All right, so all right. Now, in the meantime, Carnage still has the Joker, and Joker's still under control by the mind chip. He's kind of like sane, not criminally insane. So Carnage he takes his symbiote, goes upside Joker's nostril through his brain, and breaks the chip. As you can see right here, Carnage, Joker's in a lot of pain right there. And unfortunately, at first it looks like, Joker's like, and then all of a sudden, then the big grinny smile comes on, and he's just like, all back to being who. And so, in a sense, the two like join forces. They're like, yeah, I like you. Let's do this. So, in the Batcave, we see Bruce kind of getting his 411 on Carnage. And even Alfred even tells him like, maybe you could use the Spider-Man's help. He knows him better than you, sir. Almost like you're always so cold-hearted to somebody that may come into your city and without any warning. But kind of Alfred is sticking up for Spider-Man, which was really cool. And Spidey's there. He doesn't really know the city well, but he's getting around. He helps out some heroes, and unfortunately, after he webs this crook that tries to mug this lady. Even the lady's like, Spider-Man, like, what are you doing in Gotham? Like, he's like, what are you do? He's like, I know you. He's like, you're Spider-Man. What are you doing in Gotham? And he's like, I'm just here to help, And then all of a sudden, help a friend, and then Batman flies with the Batmobile. Get in. Smiles, please, which is funny. And so the team teams up against Carnage and the Joker, which was really cool. And I love the team up between them. This is a team up I always wanted, and finally we got two icons coming together. How they take down Carnage and the Joker is really cool. Each villain, each hero goes after not their respective rogues. They go after their partner's respective foe. Batman goes after Carnage. Spidey goes after Joker. And it was really cool to see that, and it's kind of a double cross in this too. Joker double crosses Carnage, or I think it was Carnage that double crossed Joker again. I
forget. But a lot of people question the fight between Carnage and Batman once again. A lot of people question a lot of Batman's fights. You know, like he's able to knock out Carnage, no problem. He's standing over Carnage, no problem. While Joker, Spidey kind of takes the Joker out, and he's standing over the Joker. Beautiful artwork by Mark Bagley. And one of my favorites is I love how Spidey just backhands Joker, like just pimp haps him. And I love the line right here, which I'm gonna read. Joker and Carnage have safely been locked up. This should be the time for a sigh of relief. Mutual congrats may be in celebration. Instead, two wary heroes stand in awkward silence, unsure of what to say or what to do, how to mark this momentous event. In the end, the simplest gesture proves the most equivalent. A hearty handshake, which is always great. And then, of course, which I love, the beautiful artwork once again by Mark Bagley. You see Bruce stand on the wall tower while Pete swings away. The end. Love this issue. This was just a fun issue. I loved it so much. I always recommend people to find this. Find it somewhere if you can. Find it on eBay, Amazon, wherever you can, and add it to your collection of good crossovers that showed equal respect to two icons like Spider-Man and Batman. They did another issue. They did another crossover, which had Bruce and Pete team up. This time, they fought Kingpin and Ra's al Ghul in that one. And you might see me talk about that one on somewhere down the line on Chronicles of the Web. But for this issue alone, good stuff. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this so much. I always try to keep this bad boy in just good condition, because anytime like my cousins come over who like to read my collection of comics, especially my cousins from down south, you know, they'll come up whenever. My cousin used to come up and he would just go over in my collection, just read comics, and I just put them back in the bags when you're done. He read this and he liked it. But like I said, artwork, beautiful artwork. Once again, the detailed artwork by Mark Bagley. He always just puts 110% in his artwork, whether it's from Marvel or DC. And J.M. DeMante's writing was just a fun tale. And that's what it was. He kept it fun. He kept it. He didn't show favoritism to any one hero. He just kept it fun. That's what it's all about. Fun. When you're making these crossovers, that's what it should be. Fun. Not, okay, who should be outshining who. In this book alone, nobody outshined him. It was equal. It was equal. So, yeah, Batman and Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Batman. The next issue was called Batman Spider-Man. But for this episode 2 of Chronicles of the Web, I wanted to talk about this. And here I am giving my thoughts, give you a little bit of review. You guys tell me what you thought about this issue, if you ever read it, if you remember reading it. But other than that, this is Mount Vernon Kid coming to you once again from Chronicles of the Web. Peace and love. Stay tuned. Keep it real, guys. You'll be seeing more Chronicles of the Web. You'll never know what I'm going to pull out next, but it's always going to be something dealing with the Amazing Spider-Man. And other than that, you guys take care. Have a good weekend. I'll see you guys next time.